Happy to have Jimmie Rivera back on the show, who picked up a UD win most recently at BKFC 43 over Bekzod Usmanov. Jimmie, how are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm good, man. Nice to have you back. And how does it feel to get that first official win in the BKFC promotion?
Feels good, man. I mean, the first one kind of sucked, a draw. I mean, it's not a loss, but it's also not a win. So it's one of those things. So to be able to get back in there and fight was awesome.
How happy are you with the performance? Are you disappointed that you didn't get a finish, or are you happy that you just kind of won in there, did your thing, and got a UD win?
Well, going in this fight, I went through four guys. This was the fifth guy that would take the fight. The four guys wouldn't. For the 5 months, it was a long 5 months trying to figure out who was going to fight. So I was happy he took the fight. I didn't know much about him, but then I found out afterwards, or even at weigh-ins, that he had over like 60 fights, and he was like the king of Muay Thai king or something like that in Thailand. Or something. Yeah, has a crazy record out in Asia. So long story short, I was glad he took it. I tried to finish him. Tough SOB. Couldn't finish him. I was almost happy with the decision. I kind of gave it, even, giving him that fourth round because he cut me open. I thought it was like 4-1. You know what I mean? Even though I landed more in the fourth and he did a little more damage, though. Thought it was 4-1, but 3-2. It is what it is. It's a win. I obviously did want the finish. I tried those first 3 rounds trying to get the finish. Fourth and fifth round, I just try to kind of outpoint him a little more because at the end of the day, if you can't finish someone, you got to make sure you win.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you did. You talk about the difficulty finding, or having an opponent actually make it to fight night. Did you have a specific game plan for this particular matchup?
No, not at all. We went through opponents. I was supposed to fight originally in March. Then they tried to push for the April show with Rockhold and Perry. Couldn't get an opponent for any of those. All these guys said no. And then I was finally able to get this opponent. I literally got the opponent Wednesday or Thursday, the week before the fight. Signed the contract that Friday before the fight, and that was it. There wasn't really much training. I watched some footage on him, saw what he did, and it was like, all right, let's do it.
In fight adjustments, I always find it fascinating, to hear, what your corner's telling you in between rounds. What exactly did they want you to kind of adjust throughout this fight?
They wanted me just to be a little faster, stop trying to kill, be a little faster and tag him up, and then with my last few shots, rip him. So I was trying to make the adjustment. I didn't really make it until like probably the fourth round. But I was happy with the place punches and where I landed. A lot of these guys come after the fight and their hands are swollen and all that, and my hands are in great condition. So that was nice coming off the fight without my hands. I think the worst thing was this cut I had, and he hit me probably 4 or 5 shots, and those 4 or 5 shots didn't rock me. But I remember this shot specifically. Like, he threw a left hand, and it was a nice. I was like, wow, that's a good left hand. Like, he didn't telegraph it at all during the fight, and I was like, boom, he hit me. I'm like, all right, going back, like, you're okay. I'm like, what's my coach saying? I'm okay. And then during the fifth round, I'm like wiping. I'm like, why is there so much fucking Vaseline? And then they're working on me after the fight. I'm like, oh, I got a cut. And then I looked in the mirror. I'm like, oh my god, that's a big cut.
It,
So
it,
I used someone's phone in the back, and I was like, oh my god, you could something to my head. It was a hole in my head, basically.
how many stitches do you have?
No fucking idea.
No, so a lot. Is it going to keep you out for a while? Like, is this something where you're going to have to not be able to actually spar or do any specific training?
Have you ever got stitches?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How long were the stitches in for?
Oh, well, I mean, not
Remember?
too long, but it just looks like a gnarly cut. I didn't know if it's something, because like with medical,
Nah, man,
sometimes they
nah.
suspend you for a while.
Nah, I mean, the stitch will come out this Saturday. I have my mother-in-law take him out. She's an ICU nurse, which is nice. And then from there, I'll probably wait another 2 weeks not to get hit after that.
Okay,
That's
great.
it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
So
not really.
not a
I
big
can
deal
start
then.
training. I can start training next week. I mean, this week I'm taking off and just trying to recover.
Okay.
Well, next week I'll start getting in there and just doing some stuff and just getting some work in, nothing too crazy, and then we'll find out, when my next fight is, and then I'll start pouring it on.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I've had stitches in the past, but clearly I've never done anything like what you've done, where fighting the UFC octagon, you're in the BKFC circle. It's a little different, the rules and regs that you got to follow. I have to imagine to.
Like, some of the stuff I was getting yelled at for things during the fight. I'm like, what? And they're like, can't do this. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what can you do sometimes? But it's fun. I mean, you have to be made for this. there's like I would say 67% of the people who do MMA wouldn't be able to do it. It's
Yeah.
not made for them. They would get hit and they would crumble. But you got that 30% that like to stay in the pocket, like to bang and like will fight and do anything. They'll fight. That's why like Eddie Alvarez was a perfect person to go out there and fight. And you could just see it. Chad hit him with shots. He didn't fucking back off. Mike Perry is another one too.
Oh yeah, there's so many, phenomenal fighters that are making their way to the BKFC promotion, just like yourself. How did the Omaha, Nebraska fans treat you? How did you like the venue? How did you like the support?
Venue was awesome. Sucks to go to Omaha just because there's no direct flight. It was cool being out there. It's different, you know what I mean? But it wasn't bad. People were nice, and the crowd, it wasn't like being in Jersey, you know what I mean? Being in your home state. So Jersey, PA, any of that area there is like home. But it was nice and people were cool.
How'd you celebrate the win? Did you just eat some good food, maybe have an adult beverage or two?
I tried to finish a beer. I had half a beer, couldn't really finish it, and I just had some food. I had like a slice of pizza and just hung out, like nothing really. Just hung out with my coaches and the people that came out. It was so last minute, so my wife and the kids, it was tough for them to come out. So I just hung out with them, and then next day we flew back home, and I got to be with my kids and my wife.
Very good, man. And I know obviously with the type of combat sports that you're doing now versus training, MMA to be in the UFC, it's got to be a heck of a lot easier on your body, not having to do everything that you'd have to do to get ready for a UFC fight. How do you feel right now, man? Like, how does your body feel?
My body feels great. Like my legs and shins are not sore from kicking. Doing boxing and doing bare knuckle fight or anything boxing in general, I mean, it's for MMA fighters way less on their body, so it just doesn't take a toll, and I feel really good. You know what I mean? So I can see myself doing bare knuckle for a long time. I know I could do even longer than it was MMA. If it's an MMA fight, that's when it really, you really beat down your body even more.
What is your current contractual status like with BKFC?
I have, I think, 2 or 3 more fights on my deal. I'm just hoping I can get another fight in. I heard there's a big card in September. I also got my eye out June 9th. They got the bare knuckle championship fight at 145 with Lopez and Stewart. And I think Lopez takes it, but again, it's bare knuckle. Anything can happen. Stewart can take it too. Maybe hopefully I get whoever wins, I get that fight, get that title fight.
I love it, man. And you're still only 33 years old. I know that because we share a birthday, June 29th, to be turning 34. You said that you want to do this for a while now. Do you feel like MMA is something you'll tap back into down the line, or right now you're just focused on, getting that belt for BKFC, really trying to grow with this promotion?
Just trying to grow with this promotion and help them grow at the same time. I want to be a team player and help them grow and get more fights and make it exciting for them. I mean, literally, you can never watch a bare knuckle fight and be bored. You know what I mean? There always something's going to happen. Someone's going to get knocked out. Someone's going to get cut bad. It's always going to be a fight, and that's what's really cool about it. So you can't watch. It's never really a boring fight. And what's cool is you get some high class guys that realize that Connor was at the April card with Rockhold and Perry. He said the same thing. There's no boring fights, and that's true. There's no boring fights with bare knuckle. Every moment is like an exciting moment, especially you got guys. If you got guys not running, it's an exciting moment. And there's no one, you can't really run in that ring. You can't run away or anything like that. So that's why I say there's a lot of people that wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
But people like myself and Eddie and then we could.
Yeah, it's definitely it's pretty gnarly, man. When you look at what happened to Rockhold too with his tooth, what's your thought process on that? Is that something that you kind of worry about with this particular sport?
No, but I didn't have, because I could box. No offense to Rockhold, but I didn't have Rockhold winning the fight. I didn't think Rockhold will last that long. Like you're going against first Mike Perry, who don't give a fuck about getting hit. Even though he has a story of you go first, he's like he'll still take a punch and give it. But I didn't think Rockhold was going to win the fight. Eddie and Chad, I got to train with Eddie and work with him. I thought that I wanted Eddie to win, but it could have went either way. You know what I mean? That fight, you got 2 tough guys. I lean more towards Eddie because Eddie could fucking fight. He could take it and give it compared to Chaz. Like at one point you see, Eddie knock him down like a second or third time in the 5th round, knocked him down. And it looked like he was kind of done, Chad. And then I'm never worried about that going to fight. I mean, it's a fight. I always think the worst thing that happens is you're gonna get cut up, which I did, and whatever, it's a cut, some stitches, and you're done. You know, you're healed back, and you're good for in another week or two, and you're get back in and training.
It's been quite a while since you actually made your BKFC debut. That was June of last year, 2022. That was a majority draw to Howard Davis. What's the big takeaways from that fight? Anything that you really kind of learned to just help you continue to grow and become a better fighter inside the BKFC squared circle?
Yeah, try not to fight someone that's fucking 6'2" and you're 5'4". He's got almost a foot reach on me. It was a tough fight, but still going back watching that fight, even giving him, the knockdown because they were questioning in that third round or fourth round, third round. I still thought I won first, second, fourth, and fifth. So I thought it was 4 rounds to 110 rounds. So still, like I still had myself ahead. Even this last fight, I had it 4-1. Even though I landed more in the fourth round, all right, he did some damage coming up a little bit. No big deal. All right, but from the judges, all right, so I give him the fourth round, but I don't think he won the fifth round. So, sometimes it's questionable. That's why you got to try to get the finish nowadays. Even in the UFC or other MMA places, you'll see scorecards. They're like, nah, I had it for the other guy. So it's always important to try to get the finish. And I'm trying to get it, but when someone's fucking tough like this dude, you could try as much as you can, and if you can't get it, you can't get it.
Yeah, no, very well said. Definitely agree with you on that, my man. I did see on your Instagram too that you officially are a police officer now, man. And I know how much stuff you have going on. You're a busy guy. You got a lot of things going on. Your family life, your job, training. How hard was that? All the juggling you had to do to graduate and become a police officer.
It was tough, but I was able to juggle it and prioritize stuff. And that's why I took a little, I was trying to get another fight in, but my hand was still messed up. So I took the time to kind of recover while I was in the academy, even though they have you do crazy things, running and all this stuff. But I was shooting for January. The whole beginning of the year, I wanted to get like 3 fights. And I wanted to fight beginning of the year, sometime around my birthday, June, July. Then again at the end of the year. But it was just tough, man. You can't when you can't find an opponent, no one takes a fight. I got some guys call me out already to fight me, but I'm like, all right, you want to drop down to 45? I'll fight you. They're like 55ers. The only time I'm moving up in weight classes, I'm fighting like a big name. You know what I mean? If they give me someone that's a big name coming from MMA that wants to do this shit, fuck yeah. Maybe Palomino or something like that. A big name, but besides that, it's kind of I used to be a 35er. I moved up to already one weight class, 45, and granted I love 45, I love being there, but I fit now in 45. This is where my walk around weight and all that is meant for a 45er, not really a 55er. So people want to fight, I'll do it at 45. Just gotta Dave's just gotta let me know, and we'll make it happen.
I mean, do you feel like you deserve a title shot next? If you don't get that, is there someone else specifically that you feel like would make the most sense?
I don't know, man. I don't know who's going to take a fight against me. Can't even tell you. I would love to do a title shot because now it's a champion. He has to defend his belt. Can't really say no. But with, other people, they can say yes or no. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? It's tough. So I guess I got to see what happens. I'll let, Abraham, my manager, first round, take care of it and talk to Dave and, by next week, it's the holidays coming up. So after Memorial Day, go out. Bro, I wish, I've been doing interviews yesterday. I forgot. Thank you to all our troops out there. You know what I mean? I'm so busy with stuff, and you have 2 kids, and everything goes by quick. You know what I mean? And actually, my kid's birthday is coming up tomorrow, so I've been really focused on getting all the stuff together for a birthday party that I forgot. And thank you all our troops. I really appreciate your service. And then going back to fighting, next week after Memorial Day, check in with Abe and have him check in with Dave and Nate and figure out what the deal is for a fight.
Can't wait to see you back in there, man. Last thing for me, I did see that you're doing some fundraising for the Alzheimer's Association. Can you just talk a little bit about that before we sign off?
Honest truth, I don't know how that posted in my Instagram. That's in my Instagram, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea. No
Okay.
idea how that happened. But if it's there, yeah. I mean, we always do charities at our school. And I also do a charity with the police department. So the charities at our school, we always do something where we charge people like $40 to come take a class. They get a pair of gloves, but we pick a charity, whether it's Alzheimer's. Like we just did a charity event, actually, all Tiger Showman's for special needs for all aspects school. Kids with special needs. I don't remember how much we raised. Probably a little over 10,000, maybe more than that. But we had all these special needs students that train all different locations fight all the professional fighters. So it was really, really cool. All the professional fighters got their ass whooped. They all had a awesome. It was a great show, and so we do that as well as every month. My police chief, Mike Flynn, was awesome. Great boss. We have to give $50 to keep a beard. So he takes that $50 from each officer, and it goes to like a kid in need in Elmwood Park, a charity, whatever that needs to happen. So we do that every month. So with that said, I mean, the Alzheimer's thing, it kind of just popped up in my feed, and I'm not the best savvy with stuff like this. So I think it's a great cause, though. I mean, donate to it, of course. You know what I mean? I saw it. I'm like, I donated to it, and then maybe I clicked something and I shared it, and I messed up on something. It's there. I'm like, fuck it, just leave it there. What? It's the cause. Why
Yeah,
not?
it's a
Sorry
great
to be
cause.
brutally honest.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty, my man. Well, listen, great cause. Always great talking to you. Congrats on the win. Before we do sign off, let people know where they can follow you on social media. If you have anyone to thank, anything to plug, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks to Tiger Showman. I got my school in Short Hills. Anybody wants to ever come take class or anything like that. Thanks to Elmwood Park PD. Great precinct and Chief Foligno. Myself, Ron Showman, and Michael Foligno, we started Guardian Defensive Tactics, helping officers, be able to, be better equipped to deal with stuff hands-on the street. This way, we don't have a repeat of, George Floyd or any of these other things going on. I mean, there's stuff that officers have to go to calls for, but they should be knowledgeable to do hands-on and be able to protect themselves, the suspect, and the people around. So a lot of stuff you see should never happen. So we've been really proactive and working with a lot of different police departments and officers. Clean Bro, Edge PT, all those people. I appreciate always the support.